Genesis chapter 2. Thus the heavens and the earth were finished, and all the host of them. And on the seventh day God had ended his work which he had made, and rested on the seventh day from all his work which he had made. And God blessed the seventh day and sanctified it, because that in it he had rested from all his work which God created and made. These are the generations of the heavens and of the earth when they were created, in the day that the Lord God made the earth and the heavens. And every plant of the field before it was in the earth, and every herb of the field before it grew, for the Lord God had not caused it to rain upon the earth, and there was not a man to till the ground. But there went up a mist from the earth, and watered the whole face of the ground. And the Lord God formed man of the dust of the ground, formed man of the dust of the ground, and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and man became a living soul. Okay, God made us out of dirt. He he formed us, formed man out of dust. Okay, he breathed life into the man, and the man became a living soul. So we ain't come from no monkeys. We weren't born on a tree, swinging off the rooftops. Born out of dust, and dust we shall return. Now, and the Lord God planted a garden eastward in Eden, and there he put the man whom he had formed. And out of the ground made the Lord God to grow every tree that is pleasant to the sight and good for food, the tree of life also in the midst of the garden, the tree of knowledge of good and evil. And the river out of Eden to water the garden, and from thence it was parted, and became into 4 heads. The name of the first is Pison, that is, which compasses the whole land of Havilah, where there is gold. And the gold of that land is good. There is bdellium and onyx stone. And the name of the second river is Gihon. The same is it that compasseth the whole land of Ethiopia. Now, why would God tell us that this river compassed the whole land of Ethiopia? The name of the third river is Hiddekel. I think I'm pronouncing that right. That is it which goeth toward the east of Assyria, which is now Syria. And the fourth river is Euphrates, the Euphrates River. Alright, and the Lord God took the man and put him into the Garden of Eden to dress it and to keep it. And the Lord God commanded the man, saying, of every tree of the garden thou mayest freely eat, but of the tree of knowledge of good and evil thou shalt not eat of it. For in that day that thou eatest thereof thou shalt surely die. And the Lord God said, it is not good that man should be alone. I will make him an helpmeet for him. And out of the ground the Lord God formed every beast of the field, and every fowl of the air, and brought them unto Adam to see that he would call them. See what he would call them. And whatsoever Adam called every living creature, that was the name thereof. So Adam was in charge of naming all these animals that we see today. And every living creature. And Adam gave names to all cattle, and to the fowl of the air, and to every beast of the field. But for Adam there was not found an helpmeet for him. There was nobody to help him out. And the Lord caused a deep sleep to fall upon Adam, and he slept. And he took one of his ribs, and closed up the flesh instead thereof. And the rib which the Lord God had taken from man made he a woman, not a man. And one the man, Lord, didn't make a man and a man. He ain't make a woman and a woman, like they consider to be their truths or doctrines of demons today. Trying to teach little kids that it's okay for a man to be with man and a woman to be with woman. That's not why the Lord created you in the first place. And they will give an account of their wickedness and idolatry and blasphemy in that case. The Lord said he made a woman for the man, and brought her unto the man. He made her and said, here you go. Now go on to the man over here. He needs some help. And Adam said, there is now bone. This is now bone of my bones, and flesh of my flesh. She shall be called woman, because she was taken out of man. Woman was taken out of man, not the man out of the woman. Therefore shall a man leave his father and his mother. Not his father and his father, not his mother and his mother, but a man shall leave his father and his mother, and shall cleave unto his wife, not unto his husband, not unto her wife, and they shall be one flesh. And they were both naked, the man and his wife, and were not ashamed. They weren't ashamed. Genesis chapter 3. The deception of old Satan himself, hanging in the tree like a snake. The serpent's deception and man's shameful fall. Now, Genesis chapter 3, verse 1. Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field, which the Lord God had made. And he said unto the woman, Yea, have God said, Ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden? Sound like old Slick Willie, huh? And the woman said unto the serpent, We may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden, but of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, God hath said, Ye shall not eat of it, neither shall ye touch it, lest ye die. So, the devil knew this already. Eve was naive enough to even have a conversation with Satan in the first place, which is a big no-no. And don't go talking to Satan, because he knows the scriptures too, and he will deceive you, just like he deceived Eve. Let's read on. And the serpent said unto the woman, Ye shall not surely die. For God doeth know that in the day ye eat thereof, then your eyes shall be opened, and ye shall be as gods, knowing good and evil. And when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, and that it was pleasant to the eyes, just like that's how the devil trick you nowadays. He make you look at these things that his children got, and then you say, "Ooh, that looks nice. It looks good. Oh, I'm hungry. Oh, it looks tempting." or it looks good, she look good, or the car look good, or ooh, all that money looks so good, and it becomes pleasant to the eyes. That's how he get you with pleasantries. And it says, and a tree to be desired to make one wise. She took of the fruit thereof and did eat, and gave also unto her husband with her, and he did eat. Now Adam knew better already, because the Lord been told him, the tree of knowledge good and evil, thou shalt not eat of it, for in the day that thou eatest thereof, thou shalt surely die. So he knew better. And then in that instance, he shouldn't have listened to his wife. He should have said, hold up now, what you talking about? The Lord God commanded us and said we shouldn't be eating of that tree. What foolishness is you talking about? But hey, like many other brothers, with that old woman come in and tempt you with that good fruit or that good wine and them good pleasantries, and the brother, what he do? Knowing that she tempted him, he fall into temptation. He don't even second guess it. He don't second guess her ulterior motives. He should have second guessed the ulterior motive there. But let's read on. And the eyes of them both were open, and they knew that they were naked. And they sewed fig leaves together and made themselves aprons. And they heard the voice of the Lord God walking in the garden in the cool of the day. And Adam and his wife hid themselves from the presence of the Lord God amongst the trees of the garden. And the Lord God called unto Adam and said unto him, Where art thou? Where you at? And he said, I heard thy voice in the garden, and I was afraid, because I was naked, and I hid myself. And he said, Who told thee that thou wast naked? Hast thou eaten of the tree whereof I commanded thee that thou shouldest not eat? And the man said, The woman whom thou gavest to be with me, she gave me of the tree, and I did eat. Wow. And the Lord God said unto the woman, What is this that thou hast done? And the woman said, The serpent beguiled me, and I did eat. And the Lord God said unto the serpent, Because thou hast done this, thou art cursed above all cattle, and above every beast of the field. Upon thy belly shalt thou go, and dust shalt thou eat all the days of thy life. And I will put enmity between thee and the woman, and between thy seed and her seed. It shall bruise thy head, and thou shalt bruise his heel. That enmity being Jesus. And foreshadow. It said Jesus shall bruise the head of the serpent, and that serpent shall bruise his heel. Let's read on. And unto the woman he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception. In sorrow thou shalt bring forth children, meaning birth pains. And thou shalt desire to be to thy husband, not to thy wife, but unto thy husband, and he shall rule over thee. Boy, they farther from the truth nowadays. They desire ain't unto their husband, they desire unto everybody else's husband in these last days. They desire unto everybody else's girlfriend in these last days, not unto their husband. And let's not even talk about ruling over anybody. But hey, the Lord's gonna get it all together here soon. Alright. Verse 17, and unto Adam he said, Because thou hast hearkened unto the voice of thy wife, and hast eaten of the tree of which I commanded thee, saying, Thou shalt not eat of it. Cursed is the ground for thy sake. and sorrow shalt thou eat of it all the days of thy life. Thorns also and thistles shall it bring forth to thee, and thou shalt eat the herb of the field. In the sweat of thy face shalt thou eat bread, till thou return unto the ground, for out of it was thou taken, for dust thou art, and unto dust thou shalt return. So when you die, that's why they say ashes, ashes, dust to dust. From now the dust you was formed, and now the dust you gonna return to. And Adam called his wife's name Eve, because she was the mother of all living. Unto Adam also and to his wife did the Lord God make coats of skin, and clothed them. And the Lord God said, Behold, man is become as one of us. One of who? One of us. To know good and evil. And now lest he put forth his hand and take also of the tree of life and eat and live forever. Couldn't allow that to happen. They already done messed up. They would woo. I'm glad he didn't let that happen. Because if man would have thought they became one of us, meaning one of the angels, and took forth that tree and ate it and lived forever, we'll be in a world of trouble. We'll never get rid of these fallen angels and Nephilim right here. Let's read on. It says, Therefore the Lord God sent him forth from the Garden of Eden. He said, you got to go from out of here. It says, to till the ground from whence he was taken. So he drove out the man, and he placed at the east of the Garden of Eden cherubims, and a flaming sword, which turned every way to keep the way of the tree of life. Cherubims, meaning some super angels. Like some super saiyan angels, what they say, the kids say. Some super angels, but you ain't even getting nowhere near the Garden of Eden, bro. It was a good thing, too. Because it wasn't just to keep us out, it was to keep the devil out, too, and his angels. That's why. Now, Cain and Abel, Genesis chapter 4. Let's read on. And Adam knew Eve, his wife, and she conceived and bare Cain, and said, I have gotten a man from the Lord. And she again bare his brother Abel. And Abel was a keeper of sheep, but Cain was a tiller of the ground. And in the process of time it came to pass that Cain brought of the fruit of the ground and offered unto the Lord. And Abel, he also brought of the firstlings of his flock and of the fat thereof. And the Lord had respect unto Abel and to his offering. But unto Cain and to his offering he had not respect. And Cain was very wroth. That means he was angry. And his countenance fell. His countenance. He was angry, and he was. It was like he was. His whole mindset fell. Like he was angry and distraught, and he wasn't himself. And the Lord said unto Cain, Why art thou wroth? Why are you angry? And why is thy countenance fallen? If thou doest well, shalt thou not be accepted? And if thou doest not well, sin lieth at the door. And unto thee shall be his desire, and thou shalt rule over him. And Cain talked with Abel his brother, and it came to pass, when they were in the field, that Cain rose up against Abel his brother, and slew him. He killed him, shed his blood. And the Lord said unto Cain, Where is Abel thy brother? And he said, I know not. Am I my brother's keeper? And he said, What hast thou done? The voice of thy brother's blood crieth unto me from the ground. So many young brothers shedding each other's blood in these last days. Young folks killing each other, shooting them dead, drive-bys and murders and thefts and shedding their brother's blood. They got to give account of that. Now, and he said, and now art thou, and now art thou cursed from the earth, which have opened her mouth to receive thy brother's blood from thy hand. When thou tillest the ground, it shall not henceforth yield unto thee her strength. A fugitive and a vagabond shalt thou be in the earth. That means he won't be able to. He used to be a farmer. He used to be good, with the earth, bring forth fruit, being able to feed himself and his family. He shed his brother's blood. No matter what he plant, no matter how he try to grow any food, the earth will not shield forth her fruit. A fugitive from who? A fugitive from everyone. Even the angels in hell, even the angels in heaven. Fugitive he will be, a vagabond. It means a beggar, because he can't grow nothing. Everybody's out to get him. He got to beg for his food. It says, and Cain said unto the Lord, My punishment is greater than I can bear. Behold, thou hast driven me out this day from the face of the earth, and from thy face shall I be hid. And I shall be a fugitive and a vagabond in the earth. And it shall come to pass that every one that findeth me shall slay me. And the Lord said unto him, Therefore, whosoever slayeth Cain, vengeance shall be taken on him sevenfold. And the Lord set a mark upon Cain. What mark? What other person got the mark? Other than that, the mark of Cain, very distinctive. Lest any finding him should kill him. So when they see that mark, they know they can't kill him. They can't be killed unless vengeance be taken upon them 7 times. Woo! I don't want to mess with the Lord with that. Now, and Cain went out from the presence of the Lord and dwelt in the land of Nod, on the east of Eden. And Cain knew his wife, and she conceived and bare Enoch. And he builded a city, and called the name of the city after the name of his son Enoch. And unto Enoch was born Irad, and Irad begat Mehujael, and Mehujael begat Methuselah, and Methuselah begat Lamech. And Lamech took unto him 2 wives. The name of the one was Ada, and the name of the other was Zillah. And Ada bare Jabal, and he was the father of such as dwell in tents, and of such as have cattle. And his brother was named Jubal, and he was the father of all such as handle the harp and the organ. And Zillah, she also bare Tubal-Cain, an instructor of every artificer in brass and iron, and the sister of Tubal-Cain was Naamah. And Lamech said unto his wives Ada and Zillah, Hear my voice, ye wives of Lamech. Hearken unto my speech, for I have slain a man to my wounding, and a young man to my hurt. If Cain shall be avenged sevenfold, truly Lamech 70 and sevenfold. And Adam knew his wife again, and she bare a son, and called his name Seth. For God said, she hath appointed me another seed instead of Abel, who Cain slew. And to Seth, to him also there was born a son, and he called his name Enos. Then began man to call upon the name of the Lord. Now, Genesis chapter 5 talks about the genealogy of the patriarchs. This is the book of the generations of Adam. And the day that God created man in the likeness of God made he him. Male and female created he them, and blessed them, and called their name Adam, and in the day when they were created. And Adam lived 130 years, and begat a son in his own likeness after his image, and called his name Seth. And the days of Adam after he begotten Seth were 800 years, and he begotten sons and daughters. And all the days that Adam lived were 930 years, and he died. And Seth lived 105 years, and begat Enos. And Seth lived after he begot Enos 807 years, and begat sons and daughters.